This first, I guess, round of public appearances that I've been doing since I've been elected, I've been trying to just introduce myself. I think everyone knew Rob very well, but I have spent the last 13 years in a courtroom just trying criminal prosecution cases. So that doesn't leave a lot of time for extracurriculars or visits around the county. There's really no role for me out in the county when I'm just trying cases, and so I did a lot of involvement activities in Newport, but it really didn't draw me up to Lincoln City, and so I'm, again, grateful to be able to come up and introduce myself to you and answer any questions that you may have about my philosophy on prosecution, my plans for the office. My background was never in criminal prosecution. When I was going to law school, I expected to be an environmental attorney, and I also worked for the clinic as a public defender for the Nez Perce tribe. My undergraduate degree is international relations. It was my hope that that would help me be able to work internationally, which I did for a short time, and then when I went to law school and moved to Oregon, I was covering for a position in the Dalles in Wasco County. A person was out on maternity leave, they needed an attorney, and I was a warm body and was able to go up to help out. I had done internships with the U.S. Attorney's Office and other agencies, but that was my real first foray into prosecution. And when I went there, it was surprisingly an amazing fit, because when I was a kid and I thought of a prosecutor, I thought of a cold, heartless person who just sends people to prison and didn't realize really what their job was. And when I started working just as this temporary person, I was able to see victims of crime come into the office and really need our help and really need to have someone who could navigate the system. This person was wronged. Some people were very seriously injured, trusts broken. And we were actually able to be a voice for them in the courtroom, which really spoke to me. It was something that I thought, I would like to do this, and anyone who does this, they better do it well, because if you don't care about it and you don't do it well, you get people who have been victimized in their real world and then again victimized in the system. And that's just something that I thought, it's a calling. You must be committed to it. You must not be committed to getting rich doing it, but you should really be interested in seeking justice. And so my idea of a prosecutor changed very quickly when I was doing that just temporary job. Prior to that, I worked for a group called Law Works for People. That was a pro bono group that just got low-income people into the system. Sometimes it was landlord-tenant, sometimes it was child abuse, or child support issues. You know, just things where people didn't have the money for an attorney, but they really needed help. So I did that. I was a law clerk for a short while. As I mentioned earlier, I was a public defender for the Nez Perce tribe. The reason I felt that was really great for my career and satisfying is that I was able to work with juveniles in the system and tribal elders, and we were able to come together and really figure out what a good solution for a child who has committed crime would be outside of branding them as a felon. And so we would figure out really creative solutions about, you know, cutting wood or cleaning the school instead of having them sentenced to a felony. So I thought that was a great tool, and I'm really happy that I did it. I did other legal internships with Fanger and Foltz law firm. They were the attorney for John Glenn. I grew up in Ohio. Up until the national championship last year, I spoke very proudly of being from Ohio State, and everyone didn't really care, and it was fine. And then after the championship, I started getting jeers and boos. So I still have to fess up to it, because I had a great upbringing, and Ohio State was loads of fun to attend, and I'm a big fan still. But I understand that it's still a little too soon. There's a lot of animosity. I won't push that.
I didn't know you were a Buckeye.
Yeah, I'm a Buckeye. So that's a little bit about me. I really am not comfortable in the role of bragging about myself. I did want to tell people that their district attorney has a background that is rich in the county, that I have been working to seek justice basically my entire career And I'd like to tell you you're in good hands. I am committed to the job. I'm committed to Lincoln County. And like I said, I'm not real comfortable bragging about myself, but I did want to let you all know a little bit about me and my background. Hired by Bernice Barnett, worked for her for I think 8 years, and then Rob Bavette came into office. He was I think elected in 2008, and then he appointed me as his chief deputy 2014, September of 2014, and within 3 months he decided he was going to take a different job and asked the governor to appoint me. And so I had been a trial attorney for more than a decade, and then now all of a sudden I'm running the office, and I'm learning how to run the office, but I learned a lot about what the office did beyond just criminal prosecution. So again, my caseload varied from wildlife offenses all the way to murders. The only thing I have not practiced in my office is the child support enforcement. I have not been that attorney, but I have prosecuted juvenile cases and done everything all in between. As for my office, we do so much for the county. We have specialty courts. We have diversion programs. It is not our goal to send people to prison. It is our goal to have accountability for people who commit crimes. I will not bat an eye having someone go to prison after they've been given these opportunities through our specialty courts. We have domestic violence specialty court, a drug court, drug/hope court, and we have a mental health court. These are all set up for people who have, again, committed crimes, made some bad decisions, and they are given the opportunity to have a diversion or some sort of way to earn their way out of going to prison or having a conviction on their record. And we staff them fully in my office. And the Drug and Hope Court and the Domestic Violence Court is really, it's something that I don't think that we can ever do without. Domestic violence supervision, as in 2014 we had 345 offenders go into that program. There were times where we had a 90% compliance rate, where Judge Bockhart was reporting to us that 90% of the participants in this domestic violence court are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing on probation, that their criminal cases will be dismissed at the end of a year if they do the family counseling, if they do substance abuse counseling, whatever it is that brought them to the eyes of the court. Once they do that, my office dismisses the case. They have to be successful. They have to be committed. We are about reuniting families when that's appropriate. And if someone is not about making better choices, then like I said, I won't bat an eye about having the conviction go on the record and having whatever sentence is imposed to be imposed. Our Drug and Hope Court, currently we would like to have 30 participants. I checked 2 days ago and we had 24 participants in drug court. We have 16 participants in Hope Court. The difference is our drug court program are these first-time offenders. As you probably all know, we have a real problem with methamphetamine and a growing problem of heroin in our county. These are the folks that we believe are not circling the drain. These are folks that we can save, that we can give some better information to. They have a peer group every Monday that Judge Branford runs that it's really nice to see everyone supporting each other because they're all going through the same struggle. Our office staffs that with a full-time attorney. And then our Hope Court, that's the court that has fueled by drugs in any of their criminal activity, we have to believe are as a result of drug abuse. But these are repeat property offenders. These are people who they should rightfully be in prison for whatever crime they've committed is before the court. But we're deciding that we're giving them hope. We're giving them the last stop before prison. And they go into a very intensive supervision. The probation officer understands that their probation violations will mean that this person goes to prison. They are random drug tested. They are required to check in with the courts. And these are the things that are basically a no-tolerance policy. And a lot of times, again, these are repeat property offenders. Lincoln City's had a string of burglaries, not recently, a few months ago, and just vacation rentals were getting broken into, and they were the same people, and a lot of cars were getting broken into. And so these are the folks that go into our Hope Court, the last-ditch effort, and then they will actually go to prison if they are not successful in Hope Court. Okay, our office also runs the Juvenile Dependency docket. This is when parents aren't providing the services to their children that they should be. These are also drug-affected families. We currently have 60 children in the care of DHS with our attorneys tracking those cases. We do child support enforcement. In the second half of 2014, our office was responsible for collecting $1,437,746 for kids who wouldn't normally have had that. This is our enforcement the second half of the year. Our office is also part of an elder abuse team, a sexual assault abuse team, and our MDT, which is our multidisciplinary team. This is a group I'm so proud of because all of the agencies in the county, our law enforcement agencies, our DHS, the district attorney's office, they meet every other Tuesday of the month, and they talk about kids in this county who are not receiving care from their parents, or they are in unsafe situations, or they've been abused or injured in some way. My chief deputy, J.W. Hupp, he's a 22-year veteran in prosecution. He runs that team, and again, it's something I'm very proud of. Our county, I think probably people have seen in the paper where there's a report of high crime. I can tell you that there's no way that we have currently to date to be able to track how many people in county are committing crimes or how many tourists are committing crimes. A lot of folks, when they read that number, they panic and they think this is a rotten place to live or vacation, but I am told by folks who know our county population swells in the weekends and in the summertime at least twice and sometimes 3 times what our actual population is. So, and I cannot tell you the numbers, but I can tell you a big percentage of those are folks that are coming into town on vacation or visiting here. And I think you probably are aware of the motto that is in our office. We have, you come here on vacation and you leave on probation. And so we got a lot of people doing that. In 2014, we had 259 felonies in Lincoln County. I broke down Lincoln City to the reports. 85 of those came from Lincoln City. I can tell you that it's population-wise, your police force is very active. I got to tell you, I'm really proud of what Chief Killian does and his team. They try really hard to, whenever I have a case that I need more investigation or something might be missing or even not missing, but I'd like additional information, he really drops everything and makes sure I get it. And so I'm really happy that he's part of your community. Again, 2014, there were 22 manslaughters in county. Lincoln City, I didn't break down per crime, so that's included in the 85 felonies. The manslaughters can be anything from a DUI crash to a heat of the moment domestic violence assault that resulted in death. We had 229 cases involving drugs or alcohol. 2 bike DUIs in Lincoln City. That's exciting.